Hello and welcome back to Connexiterra in Denver, Colorado. I'm Jenna Dagenhart with Asset TV, and I'm joined now by Paul Ewing of Prosperity Advisors. We're here to talk about information security. Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Certainly, thank you.
So Paul, I want to start off with financial protection measures because they're out there, but sometimes financial advisors overlook them. What are some of the common ones that you think financial advisors tend to overlook?
So 90% of all breaches are caused by human error. And so for us, that means the pretty simple things like having complex passwords, having encrypted data, having your programs physically secured, physical security both in terms of being able to lift your stuff and take it with you, but also in terms of your laptops and those kind of things, candy drops. Those are little devices that are designed to put a track error in your system. We also train. Social engineering is a lot of it. It's phone phishing and email phishing. We have training programs for our employees. We utilize a tool called Know Before, which will do simulated phishing attacks, which then if we fall for it, we get sent into timeout with some training.
Great, and you mentioned that tool Know Before. I'm wondering, what other resources have you found really useful in protecting client information?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with being very aggressive about your passwords, not only in terms of the sophistication of them, but the frequency in which you change them. Two-point verification systems also play a big role in protecting. And then we just have an active culture of protecting. Things like password generators like LastPass and similar programs are all part of the tools that you can use to protect.
And finally, as much as we do to try to protect and prevent these measures, breaches do happen at all sizes and levels of companies. So if one does happen, what are some of the most important initial steps that financial advisors should be taking?
I grew up in a small town where we didn't lock our doors because there just weren't bad people roaming around the streets in my small town. It's very different on the online world. There are bad people and there are many bad people who are trolling and they're looking for opportunities. So the time to be prepared for attack is not when it happens. You need to fire drill. You need to have a plan both in terms of how you're going to communicate and work with your compliance department to not only protect but respond when an attack happens, but also when a client reports that they've had an attack or identity theft, how you're going to counsel them through it. It's all part of the total package. Make ourselves more secure. It's somewhat like the bear analogy about I don't have to be faster than the bear. It is true, the most vulnerable people are going to be the most hacked.
Love that you brought up bears since we are in Denver, Colorado. Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.